Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to explore the idea of taking a character up from level 60 to level 70 and seeing how much more powerful they become. Because with 11 characters to boost up and get their potential, it's kind of a big question to ask which characters should I get to level 70. And while it might be a good idea to get Captain America's level 70 because of his tier 3, or if you really love Thor or Iron Man, there's no clear consensus yet on what exactly you're going to get. It's very obvious, for example, from level 50 to 60 what you're going to expect to get from 5 stars to 6 stars, but level 60 to 70 doesn't actually include any drastic changes. You don't unlock new skills, new passive effects, and your stats can actually go down, which is pretty bizarre, but it's something that's been well documented up to this point, and it has to do with the grand totals of stats because it does unlock gear 25 for your characters, which you can factor into the power of level 70, but by itself it's not enough. In addition, getting a character from level 60 to 70, as we know, is extremely expensive. Besides Thanos, you're looking to spend almost 2,500 biometrics getting from 60 to 70, in addition to over 5,000 black antimatter, as I've mentioned before, which is huge cost. Unless you gamble and risk spending too much gold, which is the risk of going at less than 100% chance for the potential. So what I wanted to do today was, I've already done some testing with Proxima Midnight at level 60. I'm now going to very quickly take her up to level 70, and then we're going to repeat some of the tests that I did just to see how much more powerful she's going to get. I also want to clarify a couple of different ideas that are present in the game and a lot of RPGs as far as the level difference between you and the enemy, and this will be a perfect way to illustrate that, so stay tuned for that. Additionally, you can take down or keep track of her stats right now to see how much they change from level 60 to level 70. So we've got 2,000 or 20,815 energy attack, 8,168 physical defense, 7,382 energy defense, and 33,590 HP. And then as for her detailed stats, we have 123% attack speed, 33, almost 34% crit rate, 185 crit damage, and then the cooldown duration of 46 and a third, and the ignore defense of 43%. I'm gonna fast forward through this level up process because it's pretty painful, but when I come back I'll have a fresh level 70 Proxima, and then we'll start to compare what I was able to do with her now in this version versus what I'll be able to do with her when she's 10 levels higher. So let's get right into this now and see. We have the level up chips we're going to use. I guess, I don't know if I want to use Jane Foster. Screw it, use Jane Foster. Okay, level up potential, let's go. I don't know, what do I go up to? Let's try 10%. Okay, we failed. Let's try 10% again. Okay, we failed again. Let's try 10% again. Okay, we failed again, that's 3 failures. Okay. Okay, it's 4 failures, yeah. 5 failures, yeah, okay. 13. What the f... 14, are you kidding? 14 tries to get that? Are you serious? That's a joke, dude. That's gotta be some kind of sick joke. I don't know about 10%. Let's go up to 30%. Oh my god. Oh my god. Really? There we go. Holy crap. Oh my god, 3 failures. Come on, come on, come on. You can do this. 4 failures. Yes! 5 failures. Well, 5 tries, not 5 failures. 4 failures. Jane Foster, Ronan. Okay. So if we go max, it's 4 million. Wow. 4 million. Okay. Yes! What? 2 tries? That's amazing. Wow. That was so good. Destroyer and, I don't know, Black Widow. Okay, so we got to level 70. As you can see, we were Spearhead of the Black Order, which is going to net us another 60 crystals, so it's a nice way to grind up a few more of those. And now we have our new Proxima. So our energy attack did jump up quite a bit, almost 2,000 points here, roughly 22,680. Our physical and energy defense both went up by about 500 to 600. Actually, physical defense went up a little bit more than that, almost 1,000 extra physical defense, and my HP went up by more, roughly 3,000. So the base stats there on the first page did go up by quite a bit. Now looking here at the details page, here's where you're going to see some things go down. Her attack speed actually stayed exactly the same, 123.38. Her crit rate went down from 33.8 to 33.11, so almost 0.7 lost, almost 1%. Her crit damage went down from 185.28 to 183.6. That's almost a drop of 2% crit damage. The ignore defense went down, it looks like 0.4% from 43 to 42.65. And then the cooldown duration went down from 46 and a third to 45 and a sixth. So that's almost a percentage there as well. So a couple of drops there, but that does make up for the fact that now the character is able to go up to level 25 for the gears, which will make up the difference lost and then add even more, especially for the energy attacks and the HPs. But now we have our level 70 character, so we're going to start making our comparisons between how much power she was doing before and how much power she was doing after. All of the other stats besides those base stats that we covered are exactly the same. I haven't changed her Uru, I haven't leveled up any of her skills, I haven't changed her ISO 8 set, and I haven't changed her obelisk or her uniform. The biggest change you're going to see, because the damage I think will not be that different, is actually in specific stages. So of course against level 70 characters you're going to see a big difference, versus if you take them on with level 60 character you're going to miss a lot of the time. But in addition to that, some of the stage I believe 11 and stage 12, maybe not, yeah, 11 and stage 12 and stage 13, all of those chapters of story missions contain characters, enemies that are above level 60, and this is where you're going to start to see a difference. Not a huge difference, but definitely a difference. Even with tier 2 level 60 Proxima, when I was running it originally, I ran the stage 12-2 to get the crit rate Urus, and I fight against the Fenris werewolf dog thing. I finished it with my level 60 Proxima, as you can see, in 1 minute and 48 seconds. This is manually played with Spider-Man's leadership, so basically I'm only using Proxima. I didn't use Proxima's leadership because it has dodge ignore, so I was very careful to avoid that, so you guys can see that while I'm hitting most of my attacks, I am missing now and then because of the fact that I'm level 60 and these enemies are level 62. They're also tier 2, but they're also level 62, so that's going to be a big difference there. I imagine now with my level 70 Proxima that I'm going to never miss, and that means that I'll probably clear the stage, I don't know, 10 seconds faster, 20 seconds faster. I'm not actually sure how much faster I'm going to clear the stage, but let's take a look here now and just notice how often you see the word dodge. Another thing you are going to see, in addition to the reduced dodge rate by the enemies, which is basically an increased hit rate for me, is the fact that the color of the damage is different. So before, in the original clear, my damage was colored yellow, which means I have an affinity advantage because universals have the advantage against all other types, and you can see these enemies are combat and speed. For some reason at level 70 all characters, at least as of now, lose their affinity. Now whether that is an intended consequence of level 70, which would make it a little bit more interesting for PvP game modes, we're not yet sure, and so we're gonna have to wait and see just how that kind of angles out. But right now you're gonna see me taking down the wolf. I'm actually doing a lot more damage. I remember how much longer this took me. I had to kite around the boss and be careful, and because I'm level 70 now and the boss is only level 62, the boss will actually hit me a lot less often. So there's actually a huge jump in the damage because this is going to be a lot faster clear. I can just tell from the previous time and how long it took me then. So I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, 54 seconds. So we shaved off almost a full minute from our clear, and now the damage wasn't doubled because we know that from her energy attack stat. Her energy attack stat only went up by about 2,000, which is a lot, but it's definitely not enough to double the time. So the rest of the damage is actually being made up by the fact that the enemies are no longer dodging her attacks, and she's actually doing more damage because there's a higher level gap between her and the enemy. And that is the common RPG element that I mentioned to you guys before we started the level 70 process. When you attack enemies that are a higher level than you, you take a damage penalty most of the times, and almost 100% of the time you're going to take a hit rate penalty or a hit chance penalty, which means that it's easier for the enemy to dodge you, it's harder for you to hit the enemy, and that's basically to simulate the idea that they've trained longer than you and harder than you, so they're better fighters, they're higher level than you, Vice versa, when you're a higher level than they are, even if they have dodge, you'll be able to more easily hit them. When you fight enemies that are lower level than you, their dodge rates get lowered, their crit rates and stuff like that are lowered, so they take a huge penalty to their damage bonuses, unless they have things like guaranteed dodge or guaranteed crit rate, which ignore the level difference. And the other test that I wanted to show you guys the difference of is in Shadowland. I happened to chance upon a level 5 Ultron Rumble, so I wanted to test that one out for you guys. With the original Proxima at level 60, I cleared the first 3 Ultrons, so that is leaving the last Ultron because I don't want to finish the stage. I cleared the first 3 Ultrons in 20 seconds. So it took me about 20 seconds to clear out these 3 tin cans and leave me with the last Ultron. I want to see now how long it's going to take me, given how much damage I'm doing and how often they're kind of taking hits. I just got to be careful here because the last one could die, but judging by the damage here, okay, I'm just trying to be really careful. It's taking me a little bit longer now because I'm doing it on the spur of the moment, and that last Ultron is just hanging on for dear life, but it was between 10 and 15 seconds, so it kind of holds about half the time as the original, compared to the original one, and it does compare quite well to the story mode level. The story mode level is a better example of the level difference being a huge game changer for level 70 versus level 60. It also explains why tier 1 characters cannot do stages 11, 12, and 13 for the story missions, because they're even lower than level 60 tier 2. So if you're trying to go with, you know, tier 1 Sharon Rogers, tier 1 Nova, it's just not going to work for you in the story mode beyond a certain point. Now the last test I want to do is to see how much damage one single skill effect does. So we're just going to do Proxima's 5th skill. We're going to let that ride out, the damage numbers, and then we're going to compare to what we had previously. So here we can see that I did about 110,000 to the first Ultron there at the top, the original Ultron I believe it is, and then for the Mark whatever Ultron, I did quite a bit more. I did over 200,000, 220,000, and then for the last one I did just under 200,000. It looks like 180 or 190,000. So I'm anywhere from about 100,000 or 200,000 to 220,000 damage, which is quite impressive for one skill divided across 3 enemies. Conversely, in my original clear, as you'll see now, with one skill, I was only doing between 80 and 120,000 damage to each Ultron. So again, it's about double the damage being dealt. Part of that is because of the energy attack increase from the level 60 to level 70 jump. The rest of that is due to the fact that I am level 70, and so it's much easier for me to crit. I'm not missing any of my attacks to their dodge. And I'm much higher level than they are. So those are the benefits primarily of getting your characters who can get their potential from level 60 to 70 to level 70. So if you want to do very specific game modes where you're either farming for Uru or you want to engage in PvP with other level 70 characters, if you're seeing a lot of level 70 Spider-Mans or whatever, you can consider raising some of your characters up to level 70 like Captain America or Thor or another one to ensure that they can do those modes very smoothly, to ensure that they're not taking a hit chance or a crit rate or a dodge rate penalty against other level 70s in the game. Otherwise, while it is a pretty big bonus it's a pretty decent bonus to get a character from level 60 to level 70, I would advise against getting all of your characters to level 70 unless you have a huge surplus of resources. It's just way too costly. I mean, it cost me almost 10 million gold just now doing Proxima, and I got pretty lucky with my upgrades. Of course, it still cost me over 2,000 biometrics, so choose wisely. Hopefully these examples, the stats and the information and the examples that I've given you can lead you to choose wisely and make good decisions. Let me know what you guys think and who you're going to be taking to level 70 after you saw this. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. Hit the bell if you don't want to miss any of my content, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.